Runs, T20 runs, then Virat Kohli on this ground at Chinnaswamy. He knows every blade of grass, he knows every single area, the boundary. He instinctively knows this ground well, and he has to replicate that form for RCB to start winning at home. The areas that he focuses on, however, that will be our conversation. He knows it instinctively well, but what sort of approach would you want to see? Because we've seen a more aggressive approach so far along with Phil Salt in that power play.
Well, I mean, for somebody who's played for 18 years non-stop every year, it's very difficult to try and tell somebody what approach he should be having.
It's actually, they've lost wickets in the power play. Virat is well aware of that. Maybe a little bit not really understanding the bounce of their home conditions so far.
Selfless nature. So if you take the selfless out of the, bring it into the going back, because they haven't managed to do it, it's looking forward as to how he can apply himself.
And speaking about looking forward, generation goal there, Virat Kohli. What about generation goal? Because coming on to these conditions will be a young 14-year-old that has already made waves, and now we expect him to enter the Chinnaswamy and make some more. Vaibhav Suryavanshi. And Sunnyji, it's exactly what you needed. You had to take advantage. We had some pace from Jafracha that was fun, but they needed a power play like that.
And exactly.
Him to come in as well.
Yeah, he has, and we saw absolute clarity in the way that he wanted to play. He came out and absolutely dominated extremely well. Massive part in posting a good score.
One of the questions we asked you in the pre-show was just because Tim David had scored a 50 on this ground before, would you like to see him earlier in? You did see him situationally, and also you can see the work that DK has done with Jitesh Sharma. He is the DK mold. They're playing that finisher role. They've posted past 200.
And that was important. Very.
Just 19, that was the partnership, but it's a day where or rather 3 days where we've seen three icons in action. We have that they need to fix. Now in this chase of 200 plus here, where it's worked well for them, Ian Morgan has said Rajasthan have always started well, but they're going to have to take on Bhuvi and Josh Hazlewood, who have been so tight with giving nothing away. And all those moments in terms of Hazlewood, the woe that he bailed towards the end. Quickly, 10 seconds for you before we go to the presentation. What a victory this must have been for the home fans.
Absolutely.
We like to break it down for you. We love talking about win probabilities. You would think that this was Rajasthan's game. We'll break it down into a tale of two overs, if you'll allow me that, gentlemen. First and foremost, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, 18th over. The equation at that defending that perspective, and this experience of Josh Hazlewood, the dot balls, the pressure. And as you answer this, I'll show you the chance of winning as well, Moggs, just how important it was, because for RCB, for Hazlewood.
In a change room, but there's one thing talking about it, there's another thing over. That big over, I think it was 22 off Bhuvi. You're thinking, right, the game is in the palm of our hand here. How do we not mess it up? How do we just keep momentum going? And it's not an easy thing to do, but once you do it, it builds confidence, it builds clarity, good train of thought. I mean, you see the shoe on the other foot with RCB, and the way that Josh Hazlewood executed, just clear, calm, concise, and knew exactly what he was doing. It's important to deliver that under pressure time and time again.
Traditionally, from what we know, it hasn't been too easy to, even if it's 200 totals, to defend it here at the Chinnaswamy. It gets to that stage. Sometimes it psychologically gets to you that, oh, we've lost all the home games, this is not going our way. So the pressure on a bowler when Hazlewood walked out from that perspective, did I just have a butterfly land on me, Sunnyji?
I was not going to distract you. It just, came and...
That is so... Guys, why weren't you on the... No, it's gone now. There's no point coming to the close-up. Oh, that was a moment. Sorry, carry on, Sunnyji.
No, you're absolutely right. I think, with hit a six, the strike, but no, he tried to hit something and he got out. Yeah. So, I mean, where is the thought process going there? Experienced player, a young cricketer, it's a different, you understand a young cricketer who doesn't have but somebody who's played IPL, somebody who knows a little bit, should have certainly, done a lot better.
Josh Hazlewood, thank you so much for joining us.
Why do people who man of the match are always, that tall? I have a problem with this. Thank God we are. Thank God we are not sharing a mic. Otherwise, it would.
How many trees have you planted today?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. 270 was it? Was it most 270?
Yeah, round about there. No, I think it was about.
I've got to ask you something. Started the season, obviously, we were like, you in that power play, you and Bhuvi. As the season has progressed, and obviously vastly experienced, you can bowl in all phases of the game. We're seeing you being reserved a little more towards the back end. How does that translate, or in terms of the pressure that you put in yourself, or the tactics that you employ in that phase?
Yeah, they're not easy overs to bowl, I think.
Went totals, even if it's 200 plus. And you've known that traditionally you would have seen that here at the Chinnaswamy. What was going through your head? Bhuvi's overs had gone for a few runs as well. The equation was down to 80 now. Very, very gettable.
Yeah, it almost, I think, takes the pressure off to a degree. I think backing it our first win at home, so it's great.
How crazy is it to hear someone defending 18? It was nice. I could actually relax at that pace.
And relief. The pressure was relief. Josh, you're a guy that tends to keep a quite simple line and length. Tell us about it.
We'll take that momentum into the next game.
You've been practicing a lot of tosses with Rajat.
I think so, yeah.
Any tastes, any secrets? I mean, we already spoke about it.
I spoke about it. You lose the toss, but win the match. That's important at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Josh, thank you so much for joining us today. Looking forward to the juggernaut continuing on. Next time, we've got to keep track of how much you're adding to the Garden City as well. Yeah. I've got to ask you on the way out, just ask your team. Everyone was shouting over there saying, how's the Josh? You know what that means? How's the Josh?
No, hopefully you're about to tell me.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you off camera what that means. It's a good thing, though. Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. A proper win there from RCB's perspective, that too at home, even though it got really, really close. There'll be a lot of questions as far as Rajasthan Royals would also be conveyed. Let's just have a look at essentially where they're playing, because in a couple of weeks or so, in rather 10 days, they will be in that jinx at home. What does it do for a side who are anyway getting victories away, who are very, very well positioned right now on the points table?
It gives them the confidence that they should be able to keep that rhythm going, because you don't want to be winning away, then you come here and lose. Because once you're in that winning mode, winning rhythm, you want to keep that going. You don't want any interruptions, because the moment the
Kohli, who now has 550s this season and over 3,500 runs on this count, contributing to our fizzy moments of the day.
Sums him up really. The best score runs everywhere they go. It's about adapting, applying yourself, and again, not trying to overhit it when things are in your favour. Making pace your friend was a key to RCB doing well. Making pace your friend was a key to the way that Sunny G also understood when you have blistering pace coming your way, as Virat Kohli did. You looked at that passage of play that did play out between the two. When in your time and from what you saw Virat doing as well.
The ball to bounce. We said that before, and that's exactly what he did. Yes, the first over he saw that the ball was bouncing a little bit, so some of the shots that he likes to play on the up, he wouldn't be able to do that. So what he did was he was waiting and playing it very late, and that's the trick against fast bowlers. Yes, sometimes you can get very late and you can be bowled or you can be caught, but basically
We enjoy that. For the fans at home, though, they were in it right towards the end. They had the belief that even though Rajasthan Royals have this chase in their hands, RCB can pull it off, and pull it off they did to finally bring joy at home to the fans in Chinnaswamy, and they were burst out in that colour. You're in that, top 4 slot.
Yeah, well, the challenge is continuing to try and improve and get better. When the challenge of travel and playing against better opposition as you go through the tournament tires you out, it certainly takes less out of you having more points on the board with a lot of confidence and comfort in knowing the identity within the team. Because for sides that have to travel during this period of the tournament, having gone through the toughest part so far, very, very difficult to get that momentum back, very, very difficult to get that formula right. But for sides that are now focusing primarily on the playoffs and qualifying for the playoffs, that little step forward isn't as far away as they think. And once they get that under their belt, they can start expanding the squad depth and the playing time for other squad members, and then looking towards finals.
That is exactly the challenge that Rajasthan Royals would find themselves in 3 matches now where they haven't been able to close it down. And the 2 teams in action tomorrow at the Chepauk, Chennai Super Kings, Sunrisers, Hyderabad.
So this is the ideal opportunity for them to be, again, maybe to hold your horses back just a little bit. The ball that he played from Josh Hazelwood, he was moving around, he was doing all that. His balance was not there. Next 3 balls, he just stayed put and he hit 3 back-to-back boundaries. So 3 dot balls and 3 back-to-back boundaries. Dhruv Jurel, when he was batting by staying put there and then moving at the very last moment, he was getting it in the middle of the bat. Then what did he do? He tried to move aside and got caught to Hazelwood. Tried to do something different, trying to throw the bowler off. So that is exactly what even SRH need to look at. Do they want to, maybe just stay there rather than move around the crease and do that? I don't know. I mean, this is a different kind of batting, batting tactic than what we played in. But always the best chance is if you're staying there, your head is still. These guys are scoring 136 deliveries. I used to take 36 deliveries to get off the mark. So it's a different approach. But what I'm saying is, the more you're straight, your head is straight, more chances of the connection.
That balance is so crucial. We'll take a breather. We'll quickly touch upon what needs to happen for both these sides tomorrow. We'll get Mog's opinion as well. We'll take a quick breather on Amul Cricket Live. Close to the Sunrisers Hyderabad. I really wonder how spin is going to play itself out, because here you have Chennai Super Kings spinners who are not putting on the strangle. They are falling to spin. We haven't really seen spinners at all bowl for Sunrisers Hyderabad. On this Chepauk wicket, something has to give.
Yeah, it certainly does. And it's a huge game for both sides because, again, bottom of the table clash. Nobody wants to be associated with that term. And I've said it throughout the course of today, looking ahead to tomorrow. I think it's not a time for being hesitant for both sides. You have to do something that has a bit of oomph behind it. So throwing a punch is very, very important. Who has the guts to throw an accurate punch early on is vitally important, because Sunrisers, we know they can throw punches. Whether they land or not, I think it'll determine who wins and loses the game. If it's CSK and they manage to get ahead, a bit like the trend of the tournament so far, they'll go on to win the game.
Two very different ideologies. We'll break it down for you tomorrow at 6:30. Thank you so much for joining us today at the Chinnaswamy as well. We'll see you later. Have a great night. Bye-bye.